Hi, my name is Janae James, and this is my interview and reflection for Psych 491 at Liberty University. For this particular assignment, we were tasked with reaching out to a professional in our area of interest. Unfortunately, I really struggled to find a professional in my specific area, but thankfully, because of social media, I was able to connect with Dr. Abigail Olaranke in Charlotte, North Carolina, who is an IO psychologist and executive coach. And I really wanted to narrow down my specific area of interest, which is IO psychology at this time. So, thank you to Dr. Olaranke. Just a little bit of background about her. Again, she's an IO psychologist and executive coach. She has a bachelor's and a master's in business administration with a concentration in HR management. She has a master's degree in industrial and organizational psychology. She has a doctorate in business administration with a focus in leadership. She has a postdoctorate in leadership and organizational strategy. And additionally, Dr. Olaranke, she's a very humble lady. She didn't share this with me, but I did find that she has authored several contributions to the academic series, The Refractive Thinker, where she bridges IO psychology concepts with executive leadership strategies. So, brilliant mind, and I'm very grateful that she was actually the very first person to reach back out to me. So thank you again, Dr. Olaranke. I asked her to describe some of her work duties. Dr. Olaranke works closely with senior leaders to improve organizational effectiveness across several key areas. This includes team culture, organizational culture, employee burnout, leadership development, and career growth. And so she supports leaders in identifying workplace challenges, and implementing strategies that strengthen both employee well-being as well as organizational effectiveness. I also asked her, just as a follow-up question and for my own curiosity, to describe what a typical workday looks like for her. She explained that she primarily works remotely and that she doesn't have a traditional 9-to-5 workday. She works with organizations through a consulting arrangement in which they enroll in either a 6-month or a 1-year program. And so rather than meeting with her clients on an as-needed basis, she meets with them in scheduled weekly slots in which they review progress, discuss goals and objectives, and Dr. Olaranke provides ongoing guidance throughout the duration of their engagement. Because her work is appointment-based and her schedule varies, she also emphasized that there is a need to remain flexible to make sure that she can serve her clients. I asked Dr. Olaranke what is the most fulfilling aspect of working in the IO industry, and she immediately responded with the awareness. She went on to explain that the most fulfilling aspect of her work is seeing the organizational leaders develop an awareness of the importance in understanding their employees as individuals. And so she noted that many organizations initially approach management with kind of a one-size-fits-all type of mentality, and this really overlooks the unique strengths, abilities, and needs of each employee. And so she finds it really rewarding when leaders recognize that adapting their leadership approach can actually improve both employee performance as well as organizational health. In contrast, I asked her to describe what is the most challenging aspect of working in the industry. And she described that the greatest challenge of her work is helping leaders recognize that their employees are the organization's most valuable resource. She emphasized that effective leadership involves more than just managing tasks and achieving organizational goals. It requires leveraging human resources, and this means ensuring that your staff remains engaged, that they feel supported, and that they are equipped to perform their role to the best of their ability. She noted that many leaders are actually unaware that they lack the tools or the knowledge needed to effectively develop and manage people. And so that makes it kind of difficult for organizations to achieve lasting improvement. I asked her what are some things she does to continue to ensure professional development and growth. Dr. Olaronke emphasized that professional growth is an ongoing process, and so she maintains active memberships in the Society for Human Resource Management, the Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology, and the Society for Diversity. She sits on several boards. In addition, she intentionally participates in at least 3 professional development trainings each year, and this is to ensure that she stays informed on current research, industry trends, and best practices, as she explained that the IO industry is constantly changing. I also asked her what recommendations does she have for someone like myself who is pursuing work in this field. And Dr. Olaronke really encouraged me to explore the field before committing to a specific specialization. She explained that IO psychology is a very broad discipline with many different career paths. And so while some professionals focus on employee assessment and selection, Dr. Olaronke, her passion is leadership development and consulting. So she emphasized that remaining open to different experiences allows students to develop the niche that best aligns with their interests and also their strengths. She also shared that when you find work that you genuinely enjoy and that matches your abilities, it becomes deeply fulfilling, so much so that it may not even feel like work, and you probably would do it for free. And I agree with that. So that concludes the interview section of the assignment. In reflection, one of the most meaningful parts of the interview for me was when Dr. Olaronke asked what initially sparked my interest in IO psychology. I shared with her that in a previous leadership position, it helped me to recognize how organizational culture, leadership practices, and workplace dynamics influence not only the employees, but also the individuals that we ultimately served. In my case, I worked in early education, so this was the families, this meant the children. It affects all of those things. And so leadership decisions affected, a wide variety of areas, and she really affirmed this perspective, and she noted that issues often trickle down from leadership, and so she really just reinforced the importance of strong and intentional leadership if we want to see healthy organizations. From a biblical perspective, Dr. Olaronke's encouragement to investigate or try out different paths that really aligns with Paul's advice in 1 Thessalonians 5:21, where he says, "Test all things, hold on to what is good." She affirmed for me that it's completely okay to try out different paths until I find what aligns with my God-given purpose. And so that brought me to a more profound reality that in God's promise to order our steps, there is no right or wrong way. We just have to be willing to take action. We see in Psalm 37:23, it declares, "The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way." So for other Christ believers who may not fully yet know where your skills or gifts will be utilized, I hope my reflection in this video greets you with solace in knowing that when you commit your work to the Lord, He has already made a promise to partner with you. So I really want to thank Dr. Olaronke for the experience. I want to thank Professor Alday for such a valuable experience. This has been truly an eye-opening experience, and it really helped to strengthen my understanding of IO psychology and the many different career paths and possibilities that exist. So thank you.